speed I used to flash for me, nobody had the time to make the speed of flashing waves was all that I could see. It may be good for New York State, but I don't have good for me. I'm a Newfoundlander, born and bred, and I'll be one till I die. I'm proud to be an islander, and there's a reason why. I'm free as the wind and the waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland. There was Montreal, the Frenchman's Day, day on Labrador, including Indian Harbor where my father fished before. And if they want to fight for her, well, I'll surely make a stand. And they'll rip the day they try to take our Newfoundland. I'm a Newfoundlander, born and bred, and I'll be one till I die. I'm proud to be an islander, there's a reason why. I'm free as the wind and the waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland. The sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland. I'm a Newfoundlander, born and bred, and I'll be one till I die. I'm proud to be an islander, there's a reason why. I'm free as the wind and the waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland.
Let's bring the Royal Order of Screechers to order. I understand we have a whole bunch getting screeched in here tonight, hopefully becoming very proper honorary Newfoundlanders. Those of you who are getting screeched in, I'm going to need here seated at the bar. If you're not getting screeched in, you cannot sit at the bar. You have to move to the back of the room. You're getting screeched in, so you stay put. Okay? I'm out of here. All right, yes, there we go. I want to get people over here getting screeched in. I want them in the front row. Please be in the front row. Now, for those of you who are just kind of hanging out, having a drink, and just want to watch, I please ask you not to talk throughout the entire ceremony. Okay, don't be like those people who are in a movie that talk throughout the whole movie. Some people actually want to hear what I gotta say. If you want to videotape, please don't use your flashes. It's like laser beams coming at my eyeballs from every single angle. You don't need to use your flashes. Also, we don't need to record it, but if you want to, I am going to eat up all your storage. Your Apple bill will go up to $4.59 a month for the rest of your life for something that you are never, ever, ever going to watch again. Now, notification settings to the entire room, please disable, turn off. If you don't know how to turn off your notification settings, put your phone on airplane mode. If you don't know how to put your phone on airplane mode, turn your phone off. If you don't know how to turn your phone off, please lay your phone right here. I'll turn it off for you. Now, I'll be coming around looking for all your names, just your first name and where you're from. If you live in a town that I wouldn't know, stick to your province or your state or your country or your continent or your territory or your planet. I know those. I do not know every single small town in the entire universe. What is your name and where you're from?
Sabine from Belgium.
Perfect, Sabine.
Peter, Belgium.
Peter.
Hillary from Alberta.
Hillary.
Rick from Alberta.
Rick.
Karen from Ottawa.
Karen. You girls getting screeched in?
Yeah.
Can you get any further back? Move closer, over here. Get him. There we go. Oh my God, don't worry about it at that point in time. I'll fix it. Sure, your name again?
I'm Karen from Ottawa.
Karen and Hillary, and you're Rick and
Anne from Ontario.
Marnie from Georgetown, Ontario.
Marnie.
Charlie from Oakville.
Charlie.
Sue from North Bay,
Sue.
Diane, one of 4 sisters that are here.
Very good. The 4 sisters. You should have had T-shirts with us. You could have been famous. Yes.
Ian from North Bay.
And Lynn. Okay, I figured as much.
Sylvie, Horseshoe Valley, Ontario.
Sylvie.
Chris, Horseshoe Valley, Ontario.
Chris.
Sandra from Ontario.
Sandra.
Caleb, Mindy, Ontario.
Caleb. That ding. Notification settings aren't turned off. I know, probably you're the one that didn't know how to do it. That's the one that go on the entire time. She gets notified for everything. What's your name again, sir?
Beth Toronto.
Beth?
Karen Tanya.
Sorry, Karen?
Karen.
Yeah, good.
Shirley Wagley, Ontario.
Shirley. John from England. John.
Pete from Palatine, Michigan.
Pete. Jermaine. All right, is that it? Is that good? The idea of the ceremony is to teach you a little bit about Newfoundland. When all is said and done, you're going to be called honorary Newfoundlanders. I have paperwork done up for you all. Do not lose the paperwork once you receive it, as you can get into more places with this than most passports these days. As we're about to begin, I should first let you know I am not the son of a fisherman or a lighthouse keeper. I don't eat fish 3 times a day. I don't drink screech. Ever. At least not before noon on weekdays. I'm not the boy that built a boat. I'm not the boy that sailed her. But I got a boat with a fine fore cuddy, and it's got a high top sail, and I painted it green. And it's the prettiest boat
Ever had seen.
I had a premier once, and his name was Brian Tobin. Went to war with Spain over something called a turbot. I'm not quite sure what a turbot looks like, but I'll be damned if somebody from Spain is going to come take it away from me. I believe in kitchen parties, not raves. I believe in icebergs and blue stars, and the puffin is a true, proud, and noble bird. Now, scuff is a dance. Newfoundland, a blue star is a beer, and it's pronounced Newfoundland. Not Newfoundland, not Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the oldest settlement in North America, the youngest province in Confederation, and the only rock that you can party on. My name is Skipper Lukey, and I is a Newfoundland. Now, 95% of the original settlement here in Newfoundland came from 2 provinces of Ireland and 3 shires in England. We managed to adopt a lot of their culture, their history, their traits, a lot of their linguistics, but we actually managed to come up with our own language here, and we call it Newfoundlandese. Now, the first 3 words I'll introduce you to is what I call Prague putty. Prague is a Newfoundland word for food. It's for your putty, your stomach, and you're going to clutch it back. It means you're going to eat it. This evening, your Prague is what I call Newfoundland steak. It's actually make-believe baloney from Hamilton. The reason why we call it Newfoundland steak is years upon years ago, the kid that would have it on their sandwich growing up would be a rich kid. The kid that had lobster on his sandwich, well, that would be a poor kid. That kid would be so poor that if you didn't wake up on Christmas morning with a hard on, you didn't know he could. That's not fun. It's a bit funny. That's not funny. It's not funny. We all didn't have Ataris growing up in Newfoundland. Or Game Boys. Can't even call them Game Boys anymore. No. Let's call them Game.
Okay.
Now, just so you know, this is actually fit to eat. I prepared this for some famous chefs over the years. The most recent one is out of Quebec. His name was Chef Martin Picard. He's got one of the best restaurants in the country. It's called Pied de Cochon. he shows up with his kids, me and Charlotte. I screeched them all in. He loves my ceremony so much, and he puts me on a cooking show called Chef à la Cabane, which means a chef in a cabin. All of a sudden now, I have over 4,000 French Canadians. They show up here every summer. They think I'm a restaurant. I think bologna 3 times a day, and I got potato chips, boy. When they come find me. Now, having said that, I cooked this with a lot of love. I used screech. I burned off the alcohol. I added Cajun seasoning. I added glazed pan with pork, and I finished it with saffron. With saffron.
$5.90.
Then he calls me chef. In Italy, they call this mortadella. Germany, they call it Fleischwurst or Leberkäse. In the United States and in England, they call it Spam. In Australia, they call it Devon. In the Ukraine, they call it Doctor. But in Newfoundland, we call it steak. Good old Newfoundland steak. In the morning, I would have this for breakfast with eggs, toast, and hash browns. In the afternoon, I would put this on a sandwich, slice it much thinner with cheese and mayonnaise and mustard. I still remember my first bologna sandwich. I don't know if you do. You bite into it with the fresh bread, and it sticks to the top of your mouth. After the first 2 minutes, you're trying to get it off. In the evening, you bake this in the oven with barbecue sauce, and honey, and pineapples, and serve it over rice. I'm just going to serve it to you this way. Do not worry about it if you're a vegetarian or a vegan. Because there's absolutely no meat. Curly lips and assholes. You can scatter a toenail in there too. It might be crunchy.
Oh, gross.
It's a well marinated toenail. Don't knock it until you try. So, true story. Last summer, I screeched in this tour bus that came through here. I didn't realize that everybody on the tour bus suffers from a massive, severe hearing impairment issue. That's a polite way of saying that they were all deaf.
Deaf.
Every one of them. I'm not making fun of deaf people. Jesus Christ. Don't do that. But I don't know how to use sign language. How can I screech people in? I just felt like we'd taking their money if I just, just give them this and do this and put that. I'd scare them. They said, don't worry about it. Just do your ceremony like you normally do. And we're actually going to bring in a translator to sign my whole ceremony. I was like, let's go. I want to see how fast I can make this person. I've seen this on government TV before, right? This person's down there. I'm trying to follow it. No, it never works. But anyway, yeah, she was moving her hands pretty fast. And I was talking really, really fast. But I did have to stop about 10, 15 minutes in just to see if she had to catch up. Also, I was extremely curious to know what the hand signal for lips and assholes means. So, do you want to see it? Yeah. You want to know how rewarding it was to have 35 deaf people laugh uncontrollably for 5 seconds? To this day, it's my favorite ceremony I've done ever. So since then, I've learned a few other signs I want to share with you, just because I don't want you to just take that out of it. But this is thank you, okay? This is just a simple sign. Just try to remember 2 fingers. Do not confuse it with this, okay? This is the opposite of thank you. Also, this is welcome. Very, very simple. Circle to your stomach. A couple funny ones. This is bullshit. And this one I learned a couple weeks ago. That's the hand signal for Donald Trump. Anyway, I gotta have my shit. It's funny because I show these people these signs, and then as I'm going around, they're just kind of like drinking and they're making some signs on their own, like they're speaking. I saw this one woman, she looks like this, she goes.
Donald Trump is an asshole.
Yeah. Thank you. Go ahead and eat it. Now I gotta grab something so I don't spill it all over everybody. John, you said right? Sure. There you go. You got it. too. There you go. You can make a hot dog.
Oh.
Karen?
Crazy.
Thank you. What was your first name? Karen. Good. Yeah. No. I was looking at her first. Chris? Thank you. What is it? Sylvie. Your aunt? No, where's Aunt? Yeah, that's what I thought so. That was Aunt. There's also a Sue. There you go.
Thank you.
Sisters. Anne and Sue and Lisa.
Lynn.
Lynn, sorry, Lynn. And
Diane.
Charlie.
Thanks.
You're Marnie.
God.
Sabine. Peter. I can't see. You're Rick. Karen? Tell me.
Hillary.
What was my name?
Captain. Skipper. Lukey.
Chef.
Chef Lukey.
In 1497, there was a man by the name of John Cabot. His real name was Giovanni Caboto. He was an Italian explorer. We know him as John Cabot because the English paid for his travels, and that's how the English wanted his name to sound. In 1497, John Cabot sails the Atlantic on his boat, the Magic, all the way from Bristol, England, to Bonavista Bay, Newfoundland. And when he arrives here, he sees lots of activity in our water. He doesn't know what's going on, but he drops a bucket down to fill it up with water. And when he came up to the top of the boat, it was filled to the rim with catfish. And word got up fast how plentiful the fish were in our waters that they traveled from all over to settle here. And they catch the fish and to sell the fish, to trade the fish all around the world as a means of survival. And one place in particular that we traded with was with Jamaica. In Jamaica, they make rum. We love rum. We loved it so much we would actually get it on that wharf and kiss that fish goodbye, knowing he was coming back to us in the way of rum. So in keeping with that time and honor tradition, I have a little buddy for you all to meet. This right here is a real Newfoundland codfish. Given the chance, this fish could have grown to the height of 6 feet tall and weighed as much as 250 pounds. This fish will not grow any more than this because it's dead. It's frozen. It fits perfectly in my freezer. The significance of this particular fish, why I love it so much, is that my daughter, she caught this fish last summer in a place called Twillingate, Newfoundland, where all the icebergs go. And when she saw what was happening that day to all the other fish getting gutted and filleted and losing their cheeks and tongues to the restaurants, she wanted this fish, her fish, to become the most loved fish ever to come out of the waters of Newfoundland. And I promised her I'd make that happen, as I've been promising her every year since she was 10 years old. She caught her first fish for me out to Brigus. She's 21 years old now, and I'm not putting a picture of my 21-year-old in my bar. I need you all to pucker up and give this fish a little kiss. Do not worry about anybody taking your picture or video doing so. Whatever happens here in St. John's today will certainly end up on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. While you're kissing the fish, make sure you hold the pose long enough to see a flash or hear a click. Otherwise, you will hear those horrible words. Do it again. Now, if you don't want to kiss the fish, well then don't. You can use a napkin to cover your face with. You can use your hand to cover your mouth with. Or you can just simply blow it a kiss. The health department has warned me several times to stop doing this, and they're threatening to blame a new worldwide variant on me. COVID-25. The whole thing started with somebody fishing a bass or eating a bass. I don't know. Kissing a fish is not fair. All right, Sabine, you're going first. That's a good thing. I'm coming around, Rick. You know, you can reach if you don't want to.
Why gotta reach?
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. I'm coming around. Don't worry, girls. The sisters, the four sisters.
Fish.
No tongue.
Hey, hold it. Wait. Sorry. Let me know if you got it. Yeah, you got Diane? Palong? Palong? No long? No that long? No that long? Yeah! And no hot to it.
No. That's hilarious.
Wow. Should I get the four sisters to kiss at the same time? Oh, don't be that poisson. You guys is the next word. This organized picture taken. I said no. Bad girl. Get pictures.
Aber heute machst du wieder eine Diepvries. Stikt er mit einem Diepvries.
And everybody else in the room. Okay, now, like I was saying, we used to trade our fish with the Jamaicans for their rum. And it was a very strong barrel of rum. In fact, it was considered the test of a man. If they could drink this without screaming, passing out, or having a heart attack, they would be considered true men. Or women. Transgender, non-binary. In fact, screech got its name down on the south coast of our province. One night we were serving up our hospitality to a U.S. captain. He drank the shot, he yelled at a great big yell. The sergeant came out running into the room and said, "Who yelled out they got off the screech?" And there was a Newfoundlander sitting at the bar that said, "Screech boy, it's the rum, you son." And that's how screech got its name. Now before they called it screech, they called it something a little bit more simple. They just called it Newfoundland rum. But it didn't make any sense, you see, because in Newfoundland, we don't grow sugar. So how can we make rum? Well, we can't. Rum is made in Jamaica, but we request it as an overproof. We want that rum to be so strong, the strongest ever. It'll blind you if you drink it. Bring it up here as an overproof, and we'll water it down with our water. You see, water is really heavy. Shipping is very expensive. So doing it this way, we can actually save a lot and get 3 or 4 or 5 times the yield that we would if we bottled down in Jamaica and set up that way. That rum was so strong in that barrel that after they emptied it, they fill it up again with just plain water. And they put it on its side and they swish it around every 3 or 4 days. And after a couple months, you'd have a whole new spirit. It was called switch. Did it taste like rotten wood? But if you mixed it with ginger ale, it didn't work.
That's kind.
This particular bottle that I have in front of me is an authentic Newfoundland rum bottle. This one was found in the 1950s in a place called St. Philip's, Newfoundland, when they were building a convenience store called Charles Convenience. Somebody saw it on their lawn, they didn't want to throw it in the garbage, so they put it in their basement. 70 years later, they're clearing out their basement, they came across the bottle. The Sharp family sent it down to me as a gift with the story that I just told you.
Oh.
Now, can anybody for a small special price, not special price, special gift, guess how much the price of this bottle cost back in the 50s? Sandra, just guess. Now, I'll give you a hint, okay? For 25 cents, you can walk into a convenience store back then and walk out of there with a Coca-Cola, a bag of chips, a chocolate bar, and 3 cigarettes. close, but it's a bit higher. Lower. Lower. Math is not a good one for you. Higher.
$1.52.
Lower.
$137.
Higher.
$1.41.
Higher.
$149.
Higher.
$1.52.
Lower.
$1.50.
Lower. I know for sure because it's $1.50 printed on the side of the bottle. I can't let you hold or touch the bottle, but if you want to come behind the bar at the end of the ceremony, get a picture with me in the bottle, I'll be happy to do it. That's a grand shot glass for you. $7.50 value for you free. All right, now let's get back to this stuff over here that we're about to consume. I never got you to sign any waiver forms, so just don't get any of it on your skin. And we can't have a drink without having a toast. Okay? So Sylvie, can you pass it that way for me, please? Perfect. Diane, can you pass it up to your sisters? Okay, good. Bernie, can you pass this out? I'll hold that for sure, right? Good, I got it. There we
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
There you go. Who else? Who doesn't have one? And? All right, so now some of you may or may not have known, but it's been 8 years now almost that I had the opportunity to meet and screech in here a gentleman by the name of Anthony Bourdain. Wow. So the man walks through these doors in his final season of Parts Unknown, and for an entire week before he broadcasts the episode on CNN, he puts me in front of a viewing audience of 120 million people. It changed my life forever, and I never got an opportunity to thank him for what he did for me and my family, my business, my staff, my city. It literally was 3 weeks after he aired the episode, he was gone forever. I did have an opportunity that evening to sit down next to him for a couple hours and have a few pints of beer, get to know him, and just in case you may have known who he was through his shows or his books, I wanted to let you know he really was the same person in person as who he was on television. He was jovial, he was articulate, he was intelligent, and it's an incredible experience when you get to meet and then hang out with your idol for a few hours that they meet up to huge expectations. I have absolutely no idea why he would take away that amazing, beautiful, perfect life that I thought that he had. I don't think anybody in the entire world knows the answer to that question, but what it does go to show is that you never know what may be going on sometimes in other people's heads. And the demons that they're facing and fighting every day. So always remember to be kind. I like to dedicate my toast to him and say, here's to health and your company. And one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry out of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry, that's the refrain. We may or may not ever all be here again. Up to the lips, over the gums, look out gullet, here it comes. Let your back in.
Cheers.
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 It's like work. Okay, now, you are past the trees, but you're not out of the woods. Before I let you go, I have to teach you one small little phrase to give you an idea of our dialect here in Newfoundland. Shortest conversation you're ever going to hear between two Newfoundlanders goes like this. Arn smart, Arn. This is a full conversation. In order to understand it, you have to envision two fishing vessel captains crossing each other in the early morning gun. One fishing vessel captain looks over at the other fishing vessel captain and he says, Arn smart? Translation is, did you catch any fish this morning? And the response was, Narn. Any idea what that might have meant?
No.
Please, no, I didn't catch any fish this morning. Otherwise, I would have said no. Or zero. We speak English too. I'm going to try to teach you something a little bit easier, something you can actually use while you're here in Newfoundland, and that's a-by. In Newfoundland, a-by means I agree. You can use this in any situation when you're talking to a Newfoundlander when you don't understand what they're saying. Just agree with them. It's easier to agree with a Newfoundlander when you don't understand what they're saying than to ask them to repeat it. If you ask a Newfoundlander to repeat something that they just said because you didn't understand what they were saying, they will say it exactly the same way and you're still not going to understand what they said. Let me give you an example of another conversation that you might hear in Newfoundland. Someday, what? Hey, what? That means the weather was nice today. I agree. Now, let's say you didn't understand what I was saying. The same conversation would have gone on like this. Someday, what? What? Someday, what? What? Someday, what? What? Someday, what? It goes back and forth like that for a while. And it's really painful. Now, it's harder to say than what you think. It's not a boy. It's not I boy. It's not I by. It's just simply a by. I want everybody to say a by at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
A by.
Now that we have that, we're going to go along to a graduate level. So when you go back home and they're going to ask you, when you went to Newfoundland and you got screeched in, they're going to ask you, is he a screecher? There's only one proper response for that, and that is, he is me old cock and long may your big jib dry.
A-by.
Yeah,
The correct response was a by. Some of you are getting it. I taught you a lesson 1 minute ago, and I wanted to give you an immediate application on how to use your newfound phrase. It's the same learning process that they use in Rosetta Stone, and it's very effective. I'm going to slow it down for some people. I know I'm not talking fast. You can slow them. We just have to finish that bro. Up along, being the rest of Canada, you might say indeed I am, but in Newfoundland, we say indeed I is. I need you all to say indeed I is at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Indeed I is.
Next part of the phrase is me old cock. Now, cock is just... That's so funny. This is not grade 6 help. Cock is a short form of the word cock, which comes over from Old England, meaning my good friend or my good buddy. What you're saying is, yes, I am my good friend. You're going to say, indeed I is me old cock at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Indeed I is
me old cock.
It's not my old cock. It's the old cock. Last part of the phrase. Long may your big jib dry. You see, the jib's the force on the schooner, so as long as it's dry. When you're doing good, it's a wish for good luck. What you're saying is, yes, I am a good friend, I wish you good luck. You're going to say, indeed is me old cock, and long may your big jib dry. Got it? The correct response was a by. I'm going to say it, you're going to say it. We'll get through this in 3 simple segments, okay? I say it first, you say it second. Indeed I is.
Indeed I is.
Me old cock.
Me old cock.
Long may your big jib draw.
Long may your big jib
draw.
By the power vested in me, I now declare you all honorary. I have your certificates. I pass them to you. I have one final rant I'd like to share. These are a bunch of true, important facts about them. I want you to remember them. I want you to share them whenever you can, just for fear someday that they may be forgotten. Newfoundland was the first province to respond to the Titanic distress. It was 113 years ago, and at the time Newfoundland was its own country. Now, as we stand unified with Canada, we're the first province to respond. Newfoundland was the first place to discover proof of the theory of the continental drift. We're the first to host a transatlantic flight, and we're the first to have wireless communication in the entire world. We're the oldest rock in the world. This is the oldest city in North America. Water Street is the oldest street in North America. And the Royal St. John's Regatta, which happens on the first Wednesday of August every year, with the exception of 3 of the last 5 years. This year was the 4th Wednesday in July because we can't do the oldest non-continuous sporting event in North America. We are considered the most generous people in all the entire country. We're considered the funniest people in all the entire country. We're considered the sexiest. world's first artificial ice arena. A Newfoundlander invented the gas mask. A Newfoundlander was once a governor in northern Rhodesia. And there was a Newfoundlander with Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg. We're the only place in the entire world to have 4 identifiable flags. We have our own encyclopedia. We have our own dictionary. We have our own pony. We have our own dogs. We have our own cultural publication. Good old Newfoundland hero. We're the first to see the sunrise. We have our own time zone. It's called NST, Newfoundland Standard Time. We share it with only one other place in the world. It's in southeastern Argentina. They call it the land of fire, or Terra del Fuego. We caught the world's largest invertebrate, the giant squid. We got the longest running radio program called The Broadcast, and we discovered the cure for smallpox many, many moons ago. But let's not forget 9/11. Gander, Newfoundland, welcomed into their hearts and into their homes, doubling their populations in one day. 6,700 stranded world travelers. Sabine, Peter, Hillary, Rick, Karen, Ann, Marnie, Charlie, Lynn, Sue, Cyan, Sylvie, Chris, Sandra, Tara, Caleb, Beth, Karen, Shirley. Second. John P. Germain. Welcome you all.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below until we strike bottom inside the two suckers. And straight through the channel, the times low will go. I am a son of the sea cook. I'm a cook and a trader. I can dance, I can sing, I can reach the main boom. I can handle a jigger, I cuts a fine figure. Whenever I get set aboard standing room, we'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below until we strike bottom inside the two suckers. We're straight through the channel, the towers low will go.
Say, Greg. Say hi.
Farewell and adieu to the young maids of Avon, Old Dale and Amberesque, Foxhorn and Ruby. I'm bound for the westward to the hall with the woman. I can't marry on or a Cherokee I'll be. We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below until we strike bottom inside the two suckers. We're straight through the channel, the tides low will go. We'll rant and we'll roar like true Newfoundlanders. We'll rant and we'll roar on deck and below until we strike bottom inside the two suckers. We're straight through the channel, the tides